Hello and welcome to Selling the Exede Experience, a series of to-the-point videos that'll help you get the most out of every sale. We know you're busy, but invest a little of your time to learn from these videos and we'll show you how to better help each customer get the best product and plan they need, while putting more money in your pocket. When you slow down the sale to learn a little more about each customer, you're investing in them. That makes them feel better about doing business with you. They trust you to guide them to the right plan, and they're more likely to follow your recommendation on additional services and upgrades. This makes the customer more satisfied over the long term, and that means longer residuals, fewer service calls, and more referral business for your dealership. Slowing down the sales process begins with the customer interview. This is where you'll begin to uncover their needs. A few questions you can ask are, how many people live in the house? Do you have kids? How many devices are used in the home? Add up all the computers, tablets, smartphones, any other connected devices. And how are those devices used? Do they subscribe to a video streaming service like Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon Prime? Do they watch a lot of YouTube videos? It's very important to get into the habit of asking these type of online lifestyle questions at the beginning of the sale. That way you become more familiar with your customers' needs. And you can use the information they give you to make better recommendations throughout the sales process. Okay, once you have an idea of how your customer and their family use the internet, you can begin to put together an estimate of how much data they'll use each month. To help you do that, we've got a great tool. Make sure to use our usage calculator on the dealer portal website. This will be your best friend in helping you determine how much data your customers might use. And it'll help you recommend the best plan. So, what if you're out in the field or away from the order entry tool? Here's a great backup. Keep one of these brochures wherever you go. The Exede brochure data checklist can also help you quickly tally up the customer's data needs. Now, let's see this in action with our dealer and our customer. As a dealer, you might start your interview like this.
All right, Jim, let me ask you a few questions to help you get in the right data plan. First, how many people live in your home?
Well, there's the four of us, 2 kids and the wife.
Oh, that's great. And how many devices do y'all use on a regular basis? I'm talking about computers, tablets, connected TVs, and smartphones.
Let's see, well, we've got 2 TVs, we stream on one of them, and let's see, each of the kids has a tablet, and then we have a computer that we use for shopping, social media, other regular internet stuff.
Oh, and smartphones?
Yeah, we've got 3 of them between us.
Good, let's stop there. All right, now that you have an idea of your customer and his family and how connected they are, you can begin to ask about how much they use the internet. One thing to note is, it's easy to get stuck on the number of devices in the house, but that's not as important as the number of people in the house using the devices. If it's one person, odds are they aren't using 2 or 3 devices at the same time like a family of 4 would. Let's go back to our dealer to see how he asks the right questions to get more valuable information from his customer.
Alrighty, Jim. Now I want to get an idea how much data you use on those devices each month. You mentioned you had a few, so I'm guessing some of those are being used around the same time?
Yeah, my kids might be upstairs using their tablets while we're downstairs doing something else.
Well, that's good to know, because first of all, video is the biggest consumer of data. So how much video do you expect to watch either on a tablet or streaming to a TV using a service like Netflix or Hulu?
Well, we'll watch a movie or 2 on Netflix every week or so.
All right, well, let me ask you, are you okay saving some money by watching those movies and shows at a medium rather than high definition? Because we found that most people can't see a big difference and it saves a lot on data.
I'm not really sure about that.
Well, let's take a look at the brochure here and see how quickly data adds up. Now see, if you stream 2 hours a night in HD, you'd be at 180 gigabytes a month, and that's just Netflix. And you can see our largest data plan is 30 gigabytes.
Yeah, wow.
But if you watch Netflix in low definition, you drop your data to around 18 gigabytes a month. I mean, you can do this by setting up all your devices to stream at a lower definition, and it's not that hard to do. And it allows you to watch more shows using an amount of data well within one of our plans.
Okay, yeah, that's a big difference.
All right. So tell me about the things the kids are streaming. I mean, they're on YouTube and things like that?
Yeah, for the most part, you know, they just like the silly little trendy videos that are out there.
Yeah, well, those usually are pretty short videos. So how many hours do you think they stream each week?
Probably a couple hours a week total.
So maybe about 20 minutes a day?
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right. If that's in the ballpark, that's about 6 gigabytes a month for the kids. All right. Now, does anyone in your family stream music using Pandora or other music streaming services?
Yeah, I might if I'm in the garage.
All right, so maybe 4 or 5 hours a month?
Sounds right.
That's great, because music streaming doesn't use nearly as much data as video. So that comes in around 200 megabytes a month, 0.2 gigs. How about web browsing? Do you read the news online, maybe do some shopping, the Facebook?
My wife and I are probably online an hour or two here and there. The kids, probably a little more than that.
So we can call that 3 hours a day?
Yeah, that should definitely cover us.
All right. That looks to be about another 5.5 gigabytes a month. So when I add it all up, it looks like you anticipate using a total of about 29, almost 30 gigabytes a month. For that, you'll want to consider the larger data plan we have available in this area. And that should do the trick.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so how about seeing the amount of data that we're using over the course of a month?
You know, that's actually pretty easy. You can always check your usage on our customer site, myexede.net. And you can always go down to a lower plan if you find you're using less.
Okay, yeah, well, it sounds like I need the higher plan, so that might be the way to go.
So you can see how our dealer slowed things down and asked the right questions to determine the best plan for this family's needs. He asked how many people in his household, the number of devices, and then took the time and went through the amount of data each member of his family might use based on the way they use the internet. He then used all that information to offer the best plan. In this case, it was a Liberty 30 service plan. All right, now let's take a look at another example. Notice how our dealer uses the same question, but comes up with a much different result.
All right, Julia. Before we get you set up, let's take a look at your internet needs so we can get you into the right data plan. First, how many people live in your home?
It's just my husband and I.
All right. And how many internet devices do you all use regularly, like a computer, tablets, smartphones?
We have a couple of laptops, we both have a tablet, and we both have a smartphone.
That's great. And how about your TV? Do you all stream TV shows and movies over the internet?
Oh yeah, we have one of those Rokus that plugs into the TV.
Okay, great. Through a series of questions, our dealer learned that this customer has a smaller household than our previous family, and they have a lot of devices. And all that valuable information took less than a minute to discover. But that may not tell the whole story. Let's watch the dealer dig deeper into Julia's estimated data usage.
All right, Julia. I wanted to get an idea of how much data you're going to use on those devices. I mean, video uses a lot of data. So how much video do you stream each week, you'd say?
Not a lot, really. We both work a lot, so maybe a movie a week?
No, all right. Well, how about when you watch shorter videos from Facebook or links in an article?
I'd say we watch a handful of those, but not a lot. If it's 3 hours a month, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, it's really not that much.
But we do stream a lot of music. I like to have it on around the house.
Every night?
Yeah, I'm guessing here, but 3 or 4 hours a night?
All right. Well, that's about 30 hours a week or 120 hours a month. I mean, that works out to about 4 or 5 gigabytes.
Okay.
And then do you browse the web much? News? Social media?
That and email, probably 3 hours a day. 6 if it's both of us.
Okay, well, I'm going to call that about 9 gigs a month. Well, between the occasional movie, your music, and general web browsing, you're anticipating about 15 gigs a month. In your area, we have packages with 10, 18, and 30 gigabytes. So given the occasional movie, streaming music, emails, and occasional web browsing, I'd recommend the 18 gig plan. I mean, you can try it out, and if you find you're not using that much data, you can always switch back to the smaller plan.
That's a good place to leave it. Now you know by taking the extra time to ask a few simple questions about data usage, you can determine the right data plan for your customer. Sometimes it might be the smallest plan, but if the numbers add up to the needing more data, you're not doing a customer any favors by just offering the least expensive plan. A customer matched with a plan that fits their actual usage is going to be happier in the long run. And remember, when you sell any plan other than the basic plan, as a dealer, your residuals double. That makes it worth your while to suggest a larger plan when it makes sense for the customer.